His Majesty King Mswati III's representative, Prince Lukakela, Your Royal Highnesses, Banfa Venkosi,
Your Excellency, former President of Botswana, Seretse Khama Ian Khama, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, senior government officials in the Kingdom of Eswatini,
Chair of the UWC Board, Dr. Musimbi Kanyora, Executive Director of UWC International, Faith Abiodun, UWC International Office officials, leaders of UWC schools and colleges, Waterford Kamhlaba, donors, partners, and friends of the college.
distinguished guests, members of the media, Waterford alumni,
members of the college's governing council, central management group,
parents, staff, students, ladies and gentlemen, and all those joining us live on YouTube.
Good morning, everyone, and a warm welcome to Waterford Kamhlaba 60th anniversary celebrations. My name is Donovan King. I'm the Deputy Principal Pastoral, and I'm from South Africa.
My name is Providence Tisabantu. I'm IB2 and I'm from Zimbabwe.
My name is Mkonzi Dlamini, an IB2, and I'm from Eswatini.
And
We are your program directors for the day.
We invite you all now to join the entire Waterford community and this is past and present, and we are so proud of our past, as we celebrate 60 years of excellence in education, diversity and of thought, action, service, and creativity.
Sithandza ukuthi nonke nitivele nijabulile ngamasiko ethu. Nakhombisa ukuthi leminyaka lengemashumi lasithupha lendlulile bengeke iphumelele ngaphandle kokusekelwa bukhosi belive nemaswati onkhana. Lokungibo labamungela ngenjabulo kusungulwa kwalesikolo lapha eSwatini. Ngekuthi ithuba lokukhulu siyatibongela emaswatini futhi siyethemba lizinga. Siyanithembisa lizinga lemfundo yaleli college leligqugquzela kubantwana lapha eSwatini, eAfrika nasemhlabeni wonke jikelele.
And just before we begin, we know that Waterford is not Waterford without music. And with that, please welcome our marimba ensemble led by Mr. Eze.
Just before our marimba group starts, could the audience please stand for the singing of the national anthem? Please be reminded that you are invited to sing along.
Lokungena bucili
Siyabonga kakhulu mnumzane Eze nemashaye bemarimba. Inkulumo yokuqala lequkethe imibono yabafundi kulesikole itawethula nguNkosi Yenzile Mngomezulu. Losebangeni lelishumi. Lo ngumlomo webafundi lababili labaselibangeni lesiphohlongo. Siyabonga kakhulu okwakhe Mabuza kanye naSimangesihle Manyathi. Nanoma kuba sinzile ukuthi bathethulele bona lenkulumo mathupha. Bakubekwa abasobala bomcoka baleli kolisho kubo nakubafundi lapha nakuba bonke abafundi labaqedza eminyakeni lephelile.
Our very first speech is a student perspective delivered by a Form 4 but written by two Form 2 students. We are very grateful to Agwake Mabuza and Smangesishe Manyati, who, though they feel too nervous to address this auspicious audience today, have a clear message about what Waterford means to them, and we hope to many other past and present students. Please welcome Nkunzi Yenzile Ngomezulu.
Greetings, esteemed guests and the Waterford Kamhlaba community at large. Standing before you is Nkosi Yenzile Mngomezulu in Form 4. My pronouns are she, her. And I would like to present to you the speech that was written together with Simangesihle Manyathi in Form 2. At first glance, Waterford may seem like just a school nestled in the hills with unpredictable weather and cold classrooms, but our reputation precedes itself. Yes, we are a school of students from diverse backgrounds, some with affluent parents and others from more humble beginnings. And yes, sometimes this diversity creates conflict and tension, as it may be difficult to see another's point of view. But that is what a UWC is for, to train us for the different ways we understand our world and to find common ground in all conflicts. We are all young minds who dare to question the world around us and challenge the status quo. In this space, we are encouraged to be the ones who seek knowledge, who wonder, who yearn for change, and who care deeply about the world we inhabit. Within these walls, we do not just learn, we embrace culture and celebrate our global diversity. Waterford is a melting pot of 67 nations where students come together sharing their unique backgrounds and traditions. We take pride in our cultural heritage, but we also recognize the common threads that bind us all, irrespective of our origins. Change is the only constant in life, and as Waterford students, I would say we understand this deeply. We are hardly ever content with the way things are, but strive to make a difference. We do not merely accept the world as it is, but question and challenge it, seeking ways to leave a positive impact. And although we do not always get it right, we know we have to keep on trying. But what truly sets Waterford apart is its commitment to fostering care and compassion. Here, we learn to care for one another, for our community, and for the entire world. We understand the value of empathy and seek to uplift those around us. We do not just talk about change, but we walk actively towards it, with a deep sense of responsibility at that. As we peel away from the misconceptions surrounding the school on the hill to which we all belong, we uncover a place where potential is nurtured, where curiosity is cherished, and where caring for others is a guiding principle. Waterford is not just a school. It is a haven for growth, for understanding, and for positive change. Let us embrace this richness of our cultural tapestry and celebrate our differences and unite in our shared purpose of making the world a better place. Halala Kamhlaba, happy 60th anniversary. Thank you.
I am certain Mrs. Jackie O'Toole is very proud. This was a speech so well delivered, but written by two 14-year-old students, giving you an understanding of what they are experiencing. Mrs. Jackie Otula arrived from Nairobi, Kenya in January 2023 and has made an immediate impact of clear, decisive, yet caring and energetic leadership. We have appreciated her drive and her passion for transparency and for teamwork, and we are always keen to hear her calm and welcoming delivery.
Umphathi welikolishi wefika mhla tingamashumi namabili nakuthathu kuBhimbidvwane. Abuya edolobheni leNairobi eKenya. Ekufikeni kwakhe kwavele kwacaca ukuthi unebuholi lobucotfo, lobunebuntu, futhi lobunemdlandla. Siyabonga lobuholi lobude bukhwacekhwace futhi lobuhambisa embili kubambisana. Sinethulela umphathi sikola wase Waterford Kamhlaba United World College of Southern Africa, Mage Jackie Otula.
Siyabonga. His Majesty's Representative Prince Lonkokhela, I hope I got that right. Your Royal Highnesses, Bantu Abenkosi, Your Excellency, former President of Botswana, Seretse Khama Ian Khama, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Honorable Ministers, senior government officials, Chair of the UWC Board, Dr. Musimbi Kanyoro, Executive Director of the UWC International Faith Abiodun, representatives of heads of United World Colleges, schools, and colleges, Waterford Kamhlaba donors, partners, and friends, distinguished guests, members of the media, Waterford alumni, members of the college's governing council, central management group, parents, staff, students, ladies and gentlemen, Sanibonani. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Waterford Kamhlaba. Lazela balinhle lilanga lana muhla. It is an honor and privilege to welcome you on the occasion of the 60th anniversary celebration of the United World College Waterford Kamhlaba of Southern Africa. On behalf of the entire WK community, I thank you most sincerely for joining us to celebrate this great occasion. In his book, Phoenix Rising, a memoir of Waterford Kamhlaba's early years, Tony Hutton narrates how the school was opened by Sir John Maud, former British ambassador to South Africa and High Commissioner of the then High Commission territories of Basutoland, now Lesotho, Bechuanaland, now Botswana, and Swaziland, now Eswatini, on Sunday, March 10th, 1963. Describing Waterford Kamhlaba, John Maud said, and I quote, "Waterford is an act of faith. Faith in the creative value of fellowship among people of different races and creeds. Faith in the importance of making a first-class education to university entry available to all. Faith in Swaziland, and Swaziland's faith in the founders of the school," unquote. And today, we gather under this roof of this amphitheater to celebrate a success story. The story of a giant institution whose establishment was deemed as unnatural by many local and international observers back in 1963. Sir John Maud was right. Waterford Kamhlaba was an act of faith. Faith born of a deep conviction to change how the world worked. A conviction that gave rise to a world-class education, but most importantly, an education that spans the everyday, mundane classroom activities, transcending the outdoors and creating meaningful experiences that continue to impact lives within and beyond the Kingdom of Eswatini. Distinguished members of the audience, 60 years later, this faith has been realized. At present, we have over 600 young people representing over 60 different nationalities and who are taught by a cohort of diverse, highly qualified and committed staff. Among other things, our institution is founded on the principle of equal access to education for all, unhindered by the social constructs that often have the potential to impede progress and limit the capacity for mankind to become truly human. This was and still is the legacy of our founding first principal, Michael Stan, a giant whose shoulders other principals, including me, have had the pleasure and the privilege to sit on. And at the heart of our UWC education is deliberate diversity. This diversity is a catalyst to fostering a peaceful world. At the core of our mission is agency, which propels us to model a values-based living. At Waterford Kamhlaba, we are a testament to the power of possibilities. Schools like ours thrive, we really do, because we are driven by the greater sense of purpose. This is why we seek partnerships with like-minded entities. Because we are an embodiment of change. And the future of this continent, ladies and gentlemen, lies in the hands of the students for whom our commitment is guaranteed. This is why, as we celebrate 60 years of existence, we make an appeal for partnership in our programs. Every student counts. As you tour the college this afternoon, you will experience both the reality and the magic of Kamhlaba. We invite you to perceive the number of environmental sustainability projects already in place. We plan to be off the national grid by 2013. That's ambitious. We are an ambitious lot. In addition, we aim to provide an enhanced digital learning experience for all our students through high-speed internet connectivity. The expansion of these initiatives is at the heart of fundraising going forward. And we thank our benefactors, including the alumni, our staff, as well as individuals and institutional donors through whom the school continues to thrive. And I invite each and every one of you to this important discourse. Ladies and gentlemen, the question for us today is this: what will WK look like 60 years from today? Through the years you have seen, we have produced over 7,000 alumni who can be found in influential positions in governments and in international organizations, as well as those working with grassroots organizations, positively impacting their communities. Our alumni are the custodians of the Kamhlaba brand, our values, our legacy. As we move forward, theirs is a greater responsibility. To you, our alumni, seated here today, watching us from across the world, apply yourselves, I repeat, apply yourselves to the institution that was so generously bequeathed to you by our founding father. It is time to come home and come aboard. Let us set sail together. If you want to change the world, you start by changing your own home. Only then will 60 years make much more sense 6 decades from now. Distinguished guests and friends, once again, I thank you for your presence, and as we celebrate 60 years, let us make merry and be glad, but remember, we have a greater responsibility. Halala Kamhlaba, siyabonga kankulu.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Otula. You have truly given us a reflection of who we are as Waterford Kamhlaba, and I could never be more proud to be a Waterford student. And as Waterford students, we are promising you creativity today, and trust me, we always deliver. And just right now, we are going to have a poem entitled, excuse me with my Siswati, Sewelishumi lesifupha lomnyaka, meaning this is the 60th year. Please welcome Titselo Mabuza, our IB1 student.
Esteemed guests and the entire community of Waterford Kamhlaba, I greet you all. Ngintitselo Mabuza, and today I'll be reciting a poem titled Sewelishumi lesifupha lomnyaka, of which is a direct translation to This is the 60th year. It seeks to encapsulate the college's very few challenges and very many achievements thus far. Sewelishumi lesifupha lomnyaka. Sewelishumi lesifupha lomnyaka udlubulunzela, uhlahlandlela, uhlengetela, ubambelele. Sewelishumi lesifupha lomnyaka abantu bakho selokhu bamemetela buhle bakho lobumesiqa. Inhlanhla yakho lengenamkhawulo, yebo inala yakho yemifunzate yetifundziswa tesingesakho. Beletha njalo kamhlaba umhlaba ulinzele titfukutfuku takho. Njengemfuli inkomazi utfumbelete njalo, mhlaba lona bewungemagats aligwadvule kepha namuhla uvunzisile. Siyakhalalisela. Umhlaba wonke jikelele uyahlokoma ngemisebenti yakho. Uphakamisela tandla ukutfulela sigcoko uyakhalalisela. Sewelishumi lesifupha lomnyaka. Ngiyabalisisa ngithi sewelishumi lesifupha lomnyaka webuthisa tigwedzama netintsandzane. Ukhutsata kubuyisela emphakathini nembala ngabe singakubona kuphi. Sewelishumi lesifupha lomhlaba, kamhlaba kusesiveni, kamhlaba kusekhuleni, kamhlaba kuselangeni lona lelikhanya bha kwendlula ngisho lelo lemathafa. Sewelishumi lesifupha lomnyaka, kamhlaba kusemhlabeni, wona lokubongelelako namuhla uthi halala kamhlaba. Happy anniversary and thank you.
Ngicela siphinde sishayele tithelo tandla ngebongabazi bakho. Siyabonga tithelo. IWaterford yaba likolishi ngeminyaka wa-1981. Nanoma kusikolo lesi-Afrika, sona mbamba sikolwa semhlaba wonke jikelele. Singukamhlaba, ngikubusisa Silo, inkosi Sobhuza wesibili. Sibe mhlaba wonke njengoba sinebafunzi nababuya emaveni langemashumi lasithupha lehlukene laphinze labanemihambo nemasiko lehlukene. Siyatiqhenya namuhla kubusiswa lihhovisi le-UWC International Organization. Nekothulela inkulumo lebuya kumnumzana Faith Abiyodan. Longumcondzisi jikelele waleli hhovisi. Inkulumo yakhe itawulanywa nguleyo yesihlalo waleli hhovisi lelikhulu le-UWC International Organization, Dr. Musimbi Kanyoro.
Waterford became a UWC, a member of the United World Colleges, in 1981. And while this is truly an authentic African school, we are truly an international school. We are Kamhlaba, named by His Majesty King Sobhuza II when he visited us. We are of this earth. We have 67 national students from 67 nations represented in the college at the moment. And they come from diverse backgrounds and from all over the world. We are honored today to receive the blessing of the United World Colleges International Organization and to be addressed by the board chair of the United World College International Organization, and followed then by the address of the Executive Director of UWC. Please welcome Dr. Musimbi Kanyoro and Mr. Faith Abiodun.
Halala Kamhlaba. Your Excellencies, representative of the royal family, our leadership, our former president, I think. It's my joy and delight to be here with you to represent who we are as 18 schools of the UWC. I am delighted to come back home to one of the foundation of this organization, the UWC, because only 2 of our schools, the UWC Atlantic in the UK and the Waterford Kamhlaba, can say are 60 years. And the rest are their children and grandchildren. And so it's an honor for Faith and myself to be here, coming to our own continent. And for the first time, this movement of 60 years being led by children who have been raised on this continent. Both of us have been raised on this continent, with Faith from Nigeria and myself from Kenya. And it is also a first time that people from the South lead this movement at this level. So we thank you. So what have we learned for 60 years? One, and I'll just share 3 things because there are so many. One, education is an equalizer. That is not going to change. We are not going to go out of fashion. The needs on education are never going to end. And so if you are involved in education, if you support in education, if you believe in education, we are here to stay. So for the next years, it means that we have to continually find ways in which we renovate education, we change according to what we have been told by the students and by Her Excellence, the head of this school, and that we continually be able to adjust to what the world is asking of the people of the world. UW schools are experiments. They are pilots. We cannot take it all. But what happens in a school such as this reflects what we want to see happen in the world. When we say we work for peace, it's education for peace, we mean when we bring people from various parts of the world to live together, to discover together, to learn together, to realize common humanity together. And that's what I saw yesterday when we attended the classes here. We attended a class in mathematics, and I saw future mathematicians who are already practicing. I attended a class in anthropology, and I could see how theory and practice come together, right developed at the age at which the students are. And of course, yesterday we attended the launch of art here in the school. And what I saw was students actually translating what they learn from media every day and being able to put it in an exhibition that is really worth being anywhere in the capitals of this world. An exhibition such as you would see in global cities, such as Johannesburg and New York, and I wanted to say something in Asia, so I was just making my choice. Which one shall I say? Because Asia is such a large. Which one shall I say? Hong Kong. Okay, yes. It's such. Yes, this is what we are about. The second thing that we have learned is that to realize common humanity, we have to understand what diversity brings to education. And when these schools were begun, or when there were always a group of boys. First in the UK, a group of white boys, then probably here, maybe a group of mixed or whatever it was, boys. And now we have learned in a changing world that collective leadership across genders, across race, across generations, across so many things is what really makes a difference to the world. And we celebrate that. 60 years later, we celebrate that, and we only want to expand it more because this is the reflection of the United Nations. This is the reflection of the world we want to see. And the last thing that I want to refer to, what we have learned. We have learned that when you have diverse leadership, such as we have in our chair of the board, my sister, who we both carry the responsibility, such as we have in the head of the school, such as we have in the students' leadership that I met yesterday, the newly elected 3 leaders, but also the students, all of the students here are leaders. This is where it begins. And I have seen it in every school that I have visited. How is leadership experienced? You don't lead nothing, you lead people. So in a school such as this, students learn what elections look like. They learn what voting looks like. They learn what taking responsibility looks like. They learn what it means to be able to elect people who bring different talents and gifts to the position that they are being elected to. So we have learned that we practice what we want to see happen in our countries. We practice through our boards, through the teachers, through the committees, and through society. UWCA was established to be a service, to help students learn to give service. And this is, I'm concluding by saying the community where there is every UWCA is very important to us. And the people of Eswatini, thank you for hosting us. But also thank you for owning this school, because it's not a foreign school in your country. It is your school because we are learning to understand what we learn from Eswatini. Just today, listening to the languages, the cultures, every student and every person who visits this country lives from this place with some of Eswatini, some of the Swati behaviors, some of the Swati languages, some of the Swati cultures. So this school is a school of Eswatini, and it brings Eswatini to the world and the world to Eswatini. This is what is meant to be, and it's a privilege for every country that has a school, for the headquarters in the UK. And so we actually try to communicate to every school where we are. It requires, for us to really meet our mission, to bring students from everywhere. We need to have teachers also from everywhere. And we need to have the faculty and the students reflect each other. So we ask that as you welcome people from different places here, that you will always be open to make it really international, because that is the only way we can be able to live our mission. And so thank you, the community of Eswatini, for hosting this tour. Thank you.
Wow. Good morning. What a beautiful day. His Majesty's representative, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, colleagues, leaders of the present and leaders of the future, on behalf of the board of the United World Colleges, represented by our chair, And on behalf of the entire UWC movement, it is my absolute honor to be here with you today to celebrate 60 wonderful years. 60 great years of Waterford Kamhlaba's efforts to deliver life-changing educational experiences for young people from Eswatini, from across Africa, and from all over the world. I bring you greetings from the global UWC family. I bring you goodwill from all of us at UWC International. This special anniversary comes at a very important time for the UWC community around the world. In October last year, the leaders of the movement got together in Cardiff in Wales to kick off a year-long celebration of 60 years since the founding of the very first United World College in Atlantic in Wales, and also to celebrate the founding of the UWC movement as a whole. And in this same anniversary season, we've had so many celebrations, and this is continuing exactly what we've been doing around the world. We've already celebrated 50 years of the founding of UWC Southeast Asia in Singapore. We've celebrated 40 years since the founding of UWC USA, 40 years since the founding of UWC Adriatic in Italy, 30 years of the founding of Lipochon UWC in Hong Kong, 25 years of the founding of UWC Mahindra in India, 15 years of the founding of UWC Costa Rica, 15 years of UWC Mostar in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and in the year ahead, 50 years of UWC Pearson College in Canada, and another 10 years of UWC Isaac in Japan. This is a celebration season, and you are part of exactly the same season. So what we are celebrating is wonderful, and what a powerful legacy for us to treasure. So 60 years ago, when Michael Stern and the other founders of this school departed from Johannesburg and settled on this land, I don't think any one of us, and even them, could have imagined that that single revolutionary act would inspire several thousand others to make the very same journey, not just from Johannesburg, but from all over the world, coming to this beautiful corner of the earth, to this precious kingdom. And what have they come for? They've come in search of a transformational experience. And what they did was not just an act of courage. It was a tremendous act driven by the conviction to do what was right, especially when there was an easier way. Michael Stern had a choice, and he chose to come here to Eswatini. And that also shows compassion in the face of discomfort. And they would never have known that 2 decades afterwards, Waterford would join a growing global family of schools that are dedicated to building bridges between people, between nations, between cultures, and fostering peace and social justice in the world. And for those who know, Michael Stern's journey was also shaped by his own experiences of having his education disrupted by the Second World War. And that was the very same unfortunate event in the world that also shaped the founding of UWC Atlantic and the entire UWC movement. And 60 years ago, when the very first set of 16 boys arrived here and settled at the Rondavels over there, the entire world was in extremely bad shape. The previous decade was marked not just by the Second World War, by a series of international conflicts across the world. The Vietnam War, the Korean War, the Suez Crisis, the Berlin Blockade, the Hungarian Revolution, the escalation between the US and the Soviet Union during the Cold War. It almost plunged the entire world into nuclear crisis. So this was a world that was characterized by so much pain. And here in Africa as well, amidst several crises, and after several years on the run, the most wanted fugitive at the time in South Africa, the #1 enemy of the apartheid regime, was also captured the very year before this college was opened and was placed on trial. And it was under these very same conditions that Michael Stern thought maybe it's a good idea to also become an enemy of apartheid and go establish a school for multiracial education. But if he had not done that, if he had not taken that single act of courage, none of us would be here today. And it's important for us to reflect on exactly what it has taken for us to enjoy what we have come to treasure. But what we know as well is that the challenges of 1962 and 1963 have not completely disappeared from the world. We're still dealing with the exact same challenges. In some ways, they've been rebranded into new conflicts and new challenges. because we continue to experience socio-political unrest across the world, overt conflict in parts of the world. We experience the worst impact of human activity in the climate. We have a huge climate crisis. In spite of great advancements in human endeavor, the world is still deeply unequal. And if ever there was a place to bring young people together, to live together, to learn together, to serve society together, if ever there was a community to bring young people together, to be welcomed, to be celebrated, to be exposed to a loving environment and a rich cultural heritage, this is the time. And this is the place where we can do exactly that. And so for the last 60 years, Eswatini has been the home of UWC in Africa. We express deep gratitude and we honor this beautiful country for welcoming not just our students and their families, but also our teachers, our staff, and their families as well. And many of them have come to see this place truly as their home. And I know many of them can't imagine being anywhere else, because this really is home. And so on this special occasion, we honor and we celebrate every single teacher and every staff member who has dedicated their lives to this place. Many years, especially if you're Ramila Patel, we're talking about 33 years. Words will never be enough to capture what that has meant to this place. And we'd like to say thank you, every one of you, for your many years of service. We can never replace you and the work that you have done. On a personal note, for me, this is as well a homecoming, even though it's my very first time visiting this college. Because my affiliation with UWC began with this school. 12 years ago, when I was living in the United States, without family and with very few friends, a wonderful human being, an alumna of this college, reached out to me and offered me all the support that I needed. And it was exactly at the time of my life when I needed support. When I was struggling to pay my rent, this woman helped me pay my rent. When I was struggling with transportation, she gave me the keys to her car. And when I needed connection to home, even though we came from two different countries, I came from Nigeria, she came from Angola, her name was Vanya Damanso, an alumna of this college. She was my connection to home. And she was for me the full embodiment of the fact that we are Kamhlaba. We are of the world together. And that for me was how Waterford Kamhlaba touched me in a far-flung part of the world. And 2 years ago when I formally joined the UWC movement, Vanya said, "Welcome to the family, brother." That is Kamhlaba. And not just Vanya. Over the years, I have been surrounded by the warmth and by the excellence of this community. In 2013, I wrote to Stephen Lowry, and I asked him if we could invite some students and teachers from this school to come to Johannesburg to attend the very first Model African Union conference, which I was helping to create for African Leadership Academy. And Stephen said yes. Very graciously, he organized for 5 students and 1 teacher to come to attend the conference. And for the next 4 years, they came. And I won't forget the picture of Ian Pearson driving the school bus and arriving at the school. And I thought, what a brave soul. He'd come all the way with the students, and these 5 young students jumped out of the bus, and they looked so confident and so smart. And they embraced everyone, and they were just excellent. They cleared all the awards at my conference. And I thought, well, I've got to come discover where they've come from. And they were just boisterous and fully assured, and everyone knew exactly who they were. And not just them, every alumna of UWC Waterford Kamhlaba that I have encountered, they've been exactly the same. I celebrate Lebo Motibatsela from Botswana, who came to school here, my colleague. I celebrate Lau Caron, who was Lebo's core year. Both studied here, and Lau is a member of the board of UWC International today. And I celebrate you, Dalomozi Mplanga, a great man. I met him last year in London, and Dalomozi proved to me that where you've come from does not have to determine where you can go and how far you can go in life. That, for me, is the picture of what this school makes possible. So as I close, I want to assure you that what this school has achieved in 60 years in the pursuit of justice in Africa and across the world, that's only the beginning of what is possible. may we be perpetually inspired by the legacy of Michael Stern, because his actions reflected the very words spoken by the founder of the UWC movement, Court Han. He said to young people, you are needed. And 60 years ago, Michael Stern was needed to set this place up. And today, every single one of you is needed to carry forward the very same legacy and to dream new dreams, to run with the same enthusiasm, the same sense of urgency, the belief that you can make a difference in the world. So never back down in the face of difficulty, never give up on the possibility of change, and never stop believing that each of us can make a significant difference in the world. Halala Kamhlaba, congratulations on 60 years, and God bless you all.
As the students of Waterford, UWC is our identity. UWC is our nature, and UWC is our shared mission, and we could never be more proud to be a UWC school. To the chair and to the executive director, thank you so much for honoring us and blessing us and being here to celebrate this special occasion with us. We truly appreciate you. And as Mr. King has already highlighted, we are a truly authentic African school, and in order to prove that, we are going to show you, not just tell you. So the next performances we're going to have are from Gumboot and the African Lullaby. Please welcome them.
What do you want?
Mkulu, it's your birthday.
What do you mean it's my birthday?
It's your birthday, Mkulu.
Huh? Is it that time of year
It's
again?
that time of year.
Ah, Mkulu, not today.
No,
man.
you have to wake up, Mkulu. Vuka, Mkulu.
No,
Stand up,
Lindelwa.
man. Stand up, stand up,
Lindelwa,
stand
no.
up, stand up, stand up.
Can't an old man rest?
No, not in this economy.
Lindelwa.
Not in this economy, Mkulu.
Ish. It's fine, let's do whatever you want us to do.
Okay, Mkulu, okay.
Ish.
I'll salute.
Lindelwa. Okay, cool. At least let me
I
stretch.
told you to go get your
Ish.
bad problems fixed, Mkulu.
Whose fault is that? Calm down. Ish. Okay, let's
Are you
try.
ready now?
Let's
Are you
try
ready?
again, Lindelwa.
I'll salute. I'll salute. I'll salute.
Yes, sir.
Ha, 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 hey, hey, ha, hey, hoo, hey, ha. I can hear your heart is beating.
My
hey?
chest can't function properly.
Yeah, it's too much cardio, hey?
Hey.
Do you want to stretch one more time?
Oh yeah, remember that thing I taught you?
What?
1963.
What happened in
I'm a
1960?
selfie.
I'm a selfie.
Remember, I'm a selfie.
Are you lying to me, Mkulu?
Ah, you don't know me. Clearly, you don't know me. Let's go. You don't know me.
You want to finish this, Mkulu?
Let's go.
Selfie. 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 Kona sa 2. Kona sa 3. Kona sa 4. Start over. Start over. Corner sa 1. Corner sa 2. Corner sa 3. Corner sa 4. Start over. You, I think you've had enough for today, right?
Indlela, I'm tired, I'm old.
I say we finish it with a bang, don't you
Can't
agree?
be making me do such.
Okay, 1, 2, start.
It's okay.
This is a performance about Waterford's alumni.
Guys. So I was thinking, why don't we start a YouTube channel? WK 1987 to 1995.
Wow, wow, wow. Who could have imagined that Caroline Carlson over here would then go on to become a vice president of a social media marketing agency?
Guys, I heard that my English teacher told my grade to the whole form. WK 1989 to 1990. This is Loyiso Ndlovu. They don't know that she became head of sustainability at Sibanye Stillwater. If you didn't know, Sibanye Stillwater is one of the world's largest primary producers of platinum. Now that's what I call an alumni.
Now, I don't know about y'all, but I got an A in my arts.
Okay.
WK 1992 to 1993.
Wow, wow, wow. Nina over here then went on to become an art professor at North Park University in Chicago. Talk about talent, am I right?
Right. Guys, I failed my math test. WK 2003 to 2005.
This is Nolwazi Hlophe. She graduated from Waterford Kamhlaba to then go on and receive a master's degree in economics from the University of Pretoria. She is also recognized as one of the world's top 60 African women in financial technology. Let's talk about representation, am I right?
Other alumni, such as Nondombi Naomi Tutu, I don't think you've heard of her, but she's a recipient of 4 honorary doctorates from the US and Nigeria. She's also a canon missioner for the racial and economic equity.
Now, this performance should be a testament as to how WK only produces the best of alumni. And while you're here, you're being equipped with all the tools you need to face challenges tomorrow. So come, join us as we celebrate WK's 60th anniversary and say halala Kamhlaba so we can celebrate our past and imagine our future.
If we said it.
Our hope is that the college's over 7,000 alumni, especially those here with us in this assembly and those that have joined us on the live feed, but even those beyond, truly get to appreciate that the current WK students have not just continued in your great creative example, but we believe that they've indeed grown and continued to excel. Thank you to the talented students who presented the gumboot and the African lullaby. But today we are very happy and indeed honored to receive the perspectives of the college from the 70s, as delivered by Monica Smits, 1977, and by Begitemba Gametse, 1978. We truly would love to know what resonates with you and what feels so different. And we hope that we have continued and grown the legacy that you have started.
Litsemba lethu lisekutheni bafundzi labafundza abacedza kuleli college labangetulu kwa-7,000 ngelinani. Kungaba ngulabakhona lapha namuhla noma lababukelako. Bayakuthokotela kuthi labafundzi balamuhla abakagcini ngekuhamba etinyatselweni tabo nje kuphela. Bendlula lapho bachubekela bandlondlobala ngekwabo. Siyabonga emagabazi egumboot dance ne-African lullaby. Sifisile kuva imibono yalabafundza ngabo 1970 kusengakatala namakwami. Sive ukuthi basinzeka kanjani ngalabakubonako namuhla, yini lehlukile emkhatsini kwanamuhla nangesikhathi bakhona bona. Asamukele Monica Smith lowacedza ngeminyaka wa-1977 na Begitemba Gametse lowacedza ngeminyaka wa-1978.
And we have another round of applause for our alum from the 70s.
Greetings, everyone. All protocols observed. It's an honor to be here, and it's also a very emotional moment to come back to this place. I'm sure many of you can't imagine me as this shy little 12-year-old who arrived here. I mean, you look at me now, you think, well, she was never, yeah. But I'm very honored to be here, and I speak not on behalf of all alumni, and certainly not on behalf of all generations, but I've asked Temba to join me because I can only speak for my own experience, and of course now my notes have disappeared. So let me just try it by heart. It's the way things happen. The first thing I want to do is to remember those who are no longer with us, because there are many who have come through this place and who are unfortunately not with us today. And I want to pause at the sad news that Waterford Kamhlaba alumnus Stephen Turner, who was here from January 1965 to December 1971, he passed away on Thursday night. He was a great alumnus who loved this school and came back often. His brother said the other day, he was a great friend to many and changed the lives of many more. And I'd be happy to tell you more about it maybe after this, about who he was. But in his 2021 memoir, 7 Years on the Hill, he started with these words, which I think may apply to many of our era. And I quote with his permission. He started out, "In a way, I lived in the shadow of my Waterford experience for much of my adult life. A kind of self-indulgent nostalgia combined with dissatisfaction that the rest of life failed to match the heady mix of peoples, cultures, and strongly committed political principle that the school provided against the spectacular backdrop of the Swazi Hills with Great Lumpy Tom and the higher, more enigmatic Kelly, my favorite, his favorite, rising up behind the campus that was carved out of the granite and mud." Now I'd like to say a few words about what it meant to me personally to be a student in the 70s. Now Stephen was the first of the community who came from Roma campus. There was a university campus in Roma, Lesotho, and it was his family that sent him here, and after he came, many of us came as well, and some of them are here at the moment. But Waterford meant a lot to many of us. The key word for me is Kamhlaba. Sometimes we only speak about Waterford, but for me it's always Waterford Kamhlaba. Kamhlaba is the world in a nutshell. The school up on the hill, even when there's mist down there, you feel like you're in this little isolated world here. A community built on the principle of diversity, long before the term came into use as it is now, beg your pardon. We talked about apartheid, we talked about segregation, we talked about non-racialism, but it was the same principle that we were built on. We forged lifelong friendships, and we learned from each other. I may not have known Themba if I had not been given the opportunity to meet somebody from a completely different community, and so many other friends. We may not always have understood or fathomed the worlds that each of us came from. I'd never heard of a township. I didn't know about political prisoners. I was very naive when I first arrived. But you know, we may not always have understood or fathomed because we were just teenagers and we were friends and we got into each other's lives and we raised each other because this was our home. But we always had each other's backs, and we still have each other's backs. We've been talking to each other and we've been supporting each other even, 40 years on from when I was at school with many of these friends. Another key word I want to mention is leadership. And by that I mean leadership by example. I think I learned the best life lessons from my peers. Apologies to my teachers. My peers who spoke out when there was a need to, and I was in awe of how they stood up and they sometimes challenged some of the predominant views that were going on. People who went on after school and went on to struggle against apartheid, who often against great personal sacrifice, but also those who didn't become perhaps great heroes, but those who quietly dedicated their lives, their entire lives, to making this a better, fairer world along the principles that Waterford Kamhlaba is founded on, as our friend Stephen Turner did. His entire life was devoted to Africa, to development, to upliftment from poverty, and, well, I could go on, but let me give Themba some space to say something.
Thank you, Monica. It's very, very difficult to speak after so many have spoken and to say anything that's worth saying. But I think today, the thing that has struck me the most was this favorite issue of mine, which is about diversity. And diversity is a fascinating thing in this world, because what typically happens, you have a homogeneous society, maybe a company run by white people, males, and things are going well for them. And somebody tells them that diversity is a good idea. And somebody then makes a law. You have to diversify. You have to bring in people from different points of view. So they do it. They bring them in and they tick the box, and yes, the cost of business goes up, and now we're diverse. And then they say, well, this is actually a waste of money. Let's try and deploy these people who are different from us. Maybe these black people here can sell insurance to black people. Maybe these women here can do business for us among their people. But we're still going to stay the same. And then there's another round of diversity where you say, you know what? We actually are better with all those different points of view. And in any conversation, any important conversation, the one question, having come from Waterford Kamhlaba, should be, what's missing? Who's missing? Whose voice is missing? If everybody is nodding their heads and agreeing, either the problem is a simple one, and therefore probably irrelevant, can be done by AI, or we're never going to resolve a problem that really is important. The world is facing many, many difficult problems. So if the one thing that I can leave with you today is wherever you are and everybody's nodding and everybody's agreeing, something should be going off in your ear. What's missing? Where's the dissenting voice? Where am I being opposed? Because life is like that. There are dissenting voices, and we should make sure that we take them on board. Waterford has taught me that no matter how much I've thought about a problem, if I draw from the diversity around me, I can create a better solution than even I thought I had when I came into the room. And to me, that is diversity. That is the power of diversity. In a world which is ever-changing, a world which is definitely going to be different in the future, new opportunities, new challenges, your only asset is diversity. So as you go out into the world, definitely listen out. If everybody's singing exactly the same tune, think, where are the basses? Where are the sopranos? Where are the altos? And I believe that then, together, as a diverse group, we can actually create a better world. That was my lesson from Waterford Kamhlaba.
Thank you, Timber. I think a final word that I would say, for me, it's always about listening to what the others say. Even if the first thing we're thinking of is but, and coming up with the opposite argument, it's listening. What is that person really asking and telling? So I'd like to close with those words, and I want to wish Waterford Kamhlaba well for the coming 60 years. God bless you all.
Now, isn't it just amazing how the same values that we uphold today as the UWC are the same values that have been present in the 70s? Like, that is something generational, and I foresee this going on over to the next 60 years to come or even more, and would like to just thank you for giving us an insight into that. If we could give them a round of applause. And by now, if you haven't acknowledged the creativity and the talent present in our students, then I'm afraid I fear quite deeply that you might have to go back and redefine what creativity and talent is to you. Because in this moment right now, we are going to have another performance by the WK Jazz Band led by the ever so talented Mr. Bradshaw. And while they come up to just set up and have a bit of sound check, I know you've been sitting for quite a while, so you are allowed to just stretch a little bit just before they start. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please be seated? Can you please be seated? The WK Jazz Band.
Awu ayatishati nginombo namajaha. Ngazophinde sibashayele intanda. Sinenhlanhla lenkulu kusekelwa i-European Union kuleli viki lemcona kangaka empilweni yaleli sikolo. Ukucala basisekela ke evikini eliphelile ku-Africa Week. Namuhla bayasesingatha kulomcimbi wokugubha iminyaka lengu-60. Ngenjabulo lenkulu asemukele mbasata we-European Union Miss Desislava Shumalova lotawabeka inkulumo yakhe.
We are very fortunate that to have the full support of the European Union, especially during this important week in the life of the college. First, during the Africa Week proceedings as a member of Women in Leadership panel, and now here at our 60th anniversary celebrations. We are very honored to invite Her Excellency, Ms. Desislava Chimalova, the EU Ambassador, to address the community. Thank you, ma'am.
Sani Bonani, good morning. His Majesty Representative, members of the Royal Family, Minister, government officials, excellencies, teachers, alumni, students of Waterford, friends and partners, good morning. It is a really, really big pleasure and privilege, but also great joy for me to be here today. You know, the life of a diplomat is about building bridges, but while we are busy building bridges, we are far away from our families. And although no modern technologies makes this easier, we always look for families in our host countries. So we find families with the people who open their hearts and homes for us. And I always felt very, very much at home and with my family every time I come here to Waterford. And I was thinking on the way back here today, why is that? I was reflecting why I always feel so much with my family here. And of course, there are different reasons. Maybe because I'm Bulgarian, much like your beloved physics teacher. Maybe because last week your wonderful principals bestowed me with a very, very honorable title of an African woman, something that I'm going to cherish for the rest of my life. But of course, there are other reasons. I think that we share the same genetic code, the European Union and the UWC and Waterford. We have the same genes. We are built around the same values. The values of freedom, peace, respect for human dignity, the values of respect for human rights, and the determination to change the world for better. So the values is what always make me feel welcome here, what makes me feel part of you. And we also share the same dreams. Listening to all the performances today, listening to the alumni, listening to the students, I always know that I can have hope with all these young people who have their values right, who thrive in supporting each other, cherishing each other's diversity. We spoke a lot of diversity today, and probably not many of you know that the motto of the European Union is United in Diversity, bringing 27 peoples together. Of course, here you're many more. Here we have the world, bringing together what everybody has to add, the different talents, the different skills and abilities, to make sure that the world is a better place. And it is not a very easy legacy that we leave. Somebody has said that we are not inheriting the world from our ancestors, we are borrowing it from our children. And the world that we leave to our children, to the students of Waterford, is not a nice world. We have not kept peace. Even in Europe, where we founded our European Union after the Second World War to make sure that peoples of the EU are not going to fight against each other. Even in Europe, where we cherish peace and made a lot of effort to keep it on our continent and also to keep it around the world, we don't have peace right now. We don't have peace with nature. We are destroying nature. We are not leaving you a calm planet. We are leaving you a planet which is in disaster. The United Nations Secretary General 2 days ago said that we don't have global warming. We have global boiling. And all these global issues, lack of peace, a very difficult, fractured relationship with the nature that we believe on for our survival, all these global issues are on the shoulders of the students that come to Waterford, the young people of the world. And what gives me strong hope that you're going to get things better, you're going to do better than us, is the education you receive. And that's another strong bond between the European Union and the UWC and Waterford. The value we put in education, the belief that education is the strongest transformative power in this world. Education changes lives, and it changes not only the lives of the children, of the students in Waterford, it also changes the lives of others, because through solidarity and through the inclusion that are part of the ethos of the school, I believe that all students here not only have the skills, the knowledge, the will to change their own lives for the better, they always think about the others. And this I have seen time and time again. I have seen it when I visit the community center here, where all the important community work is done by the students of Waterford. I see it as students supporting each other. Also, when we listen to the beautiful jazz performance, looking at the artistic performances, the ability to join forces, the ability to work with others, the ability to be tolerant, to see the humanity in others, but also to support them to bring out and express what they have to give to this world. This leaves me a very, very strong hope for the future. And I would finish mentioning how important it is to see the empowerment of students. Every time I come here, I see the all important decisions about how school life is handled on day-to-day basis, from your environment, from the zero impact on nature that the school is ensuring, to the programs, through this 60 years celebration, which has been organized and made possible for all of us to enjoy today, has been done by the students here. They've been empowered with the knowledge, with the trust in them, they can do it right. And I must say that everything has been wonderful. Indeed, I had the absolute privilege and delight to be here through the Africa Weeks and to see that they have done it really right, from protocol to all the organization, welcoming guests, making sure that diversity was very much part of the program to today's end of these festivities. So I'm living here with a lot of hope, with a lot of joy. Waterford will be for sure one of the most cherished and fondest memories from my stay in the beautiful kingdom of Eswatini. Thank you very much for being a part of my family in Eswatini. Halala, Waterford. Long live Disco. Thank you. Siyabonga kakhulu.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, we have enjoyed your frank and insightful deliberations on the Women in Leadership panel last Friday, as you encourage our young leaders to step into their braveness and take responsibility. Today, you have confirmed that leadership and sincere leadership is indeed attainable for all of us if we work but hard for it. Thank you for your strong and clear message of hope. We appreciate you. Waterford Kamhlaba United World College of Southern Africa has a proud history of service and leadership. We see this in the students today, but also in our very distinguished alumni over the 60 years. We see it present here. We are very honored to have present His Excellency, the former President of Botswana, Seretse Khama Ian Khama, an alum who has returned on many occasions to be of service. Indeed, he was here for our 50th anniversary celebrations, and we appreciate you, sir. Thank you. We're also grateful for the numerous other alumni who have joined us today, here and online. Those who continue to return and to support the school. But today, we are extremely proud to be associated with an alum who has served the college in many different ways. She has served on the Waterford School Trust in Johannesburg and on the Governing Council. And she took further responsibility in November 2020 as the chair of the Waterford Governing Council. And the community is very grateful for her commitment and energy. We're also very grateful for the numerous other alumni who have joined us today, here and online. Thank you.
I-Waterford Kamhlaba United World College of Southern Africa yatigcabha ngemlandvo wayo welusito emangweni kanye nokufundisa abafundi ukuthi babe baholi labaqotho. Lokhu siyakubona kubafundi bethu namuhla nalabo labandlula phambilini kule minyaka le-60 leyindlulile. Siyadichenya kakhulu ngekuba khona bemhlonishwa nebeyangumengameli welive leBotswana umhlonishwa Seretse Khama Ian Khama lo wafunza khona la Kamhlaba lo sabuye kanyendi kusesita lapha nalapha sisikole. Siyabonga kakhulu umhlonishwa. Siyadumisa bukhona bebafunzi labakhona lana namuhla kanye nalabo lababukela kumabona kudze. Kunjalo futhi nalabo labanjalo bahlale basisingetha sisikolo. Sinelicapho lelikhulu kumataniswa nemfundzi waleli college. Lose sisite iminyakanyaka ku-Governing Council. Wendlula lapho wathatha sigaba sebuholi ngenyanga yeleti 2021 bekuba sihlalo se-WK Governing Council. Singumndeni wakamhlaba siyatibongela kakhulu kutikhandla kwakho. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Sibongile Gumbi, the chair of the Waterford Kamhlaba Governing Council.
Thank you very much. Wow. His Majesty's Representative, Mfana Nkosi Lonkokhela, Your Royal Highnesses, Bandwa Bengosi, Your Excellency, former President of Botswana, Seretse Khama Ian Khama, Honorable Acting Deputy Prime Minister, Minister Liz Nkosi,
Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Honorable Ministers, senior government officials, Chair of the UWC Board, Dr. Musimbi Kanyoro, Executive Director of the UWC International, Faith Obiadan, UWC International officials, leaders of UWC schools and colleges, appreciated Waterford Kamhlaba donors, partners, and friends of the college, most distinguished guests, members of the media, my fellow Waterford alumni, my valued colleagues in the college's governing council, appreciated, I'm getting to the end, sorry, appreciated central CMG and staff, parents, students, Babe Kumbi, and ladies and gentlemen. Kuyinfokoto lenkulu ukuthi nginemukele eWaterford Kamhlaba kulo suku lolubaluleke kangaka. Lapho khona sigubha lusuku lwekuhlanganisa emashumi lasithupha seloko sikolo sethu saba khona. Ngithatha leli thuba ngibonga uhulumende wakangwane kanye nelive lonke ukuthi lesemukele liphindze lisisekele lesi sikolo kuyo yonke leminyaka lengemashumi lasithupha. Bafundzi bethu kanye nabothishela labaqhamuka kulamanye emave abakake baswele imvumo yokungena kule live batofunza noma ke basebende. Sibonga nesilo semaswati ingwenyama Mswati wesithathu kuthi isiphathe ngetandla letithokomele sisikolwa. I'm honored to welcome you to Waterford Kamhlaba United World College of Southern Africa as we officially celebrate 60 years of existence. Thank you for coming and for believing in the vision of our school. Allow me to start by expressing our gratitude for the warm hospitality that we continue to enjoy in our host country, the most beautiful kingdom of Eswatini. For 60 years now, we have been taken care of, and our students and staff have received gracious gratuity in the form of permits without any problem, and we do not take this for granted. We thank His Majesty King Mswati III and his government for this act of kindness. We are here to celebrate our rich history and legacy as a school, characterized by our community impact and the accomplishments of our current and past students. Through our robust educational program, we have produced over 7,000 alumni who have moved on to impact the world in various and amazing ways, as was demonstrated before us earlier. For 60 years, we have produced action-oriented and thought leaders for the African continent and the world. On this day, we wish to take a moment and salute all our alumni for the work they have done in science, politics, art, community service, and other areas, including the governance of this college. Their achievements is a testimony to the hard work and dedication and commitment by both our teaching and non-teaching staff on a daily basis. This day is more than just about celebrating our 60-year-old journey. It gives us an opportunity to renew our commitment to UWC values and Kamhlaba's commitment to quality international education that produces leaders in all industry for Africa and the world. As we celebrate Waterford Kamhlaba's 60th anniversary milestone, we commit to upholding and advancing the legacy of diversity, equity, inclusivity, and justice, which has always defined our school. We also commit to continue providing quality international education through which we shall produce leaders who will positively impact the world. As we look forward to the next 60 years, we invite you to continue being a part of us and to support Waterford. We have just concluded our strategic plan for the next 5 years, underpinned by the foundations of justice for all in Africa. And in that strategy, we have 7 objectives, which I will very briefly outline to you. We seek to identify, plan, resource, and deliver real-world projects to positively impact the college, our communities, Africa, and the world. Some of these projects are student-led, such as the Africa Week that has just been concluded. We seek to implement a system of relationship building and nurturing, such that all members of our community feel safe, included, supported, and valued. Healthy bodies, healthy minds, healthy spirits bring about healthy people and healthy communities. Develop an effective communication culture such that we improve a feeling of belonging to WK and raise our profile positively in our community, Africa and beyond. We also seek to develop and deliver international and supportive professional development programs and opportunities to empower staff so that they build their capabilities from the recruitment process and beyond while maximizing their potential. We value and appreciate our people. We seek to develop student agencies such that they demonstrate leadership, responsibility, empowerment, and stewardship within and outside WK. The environment and spaces we provide to our students must contribute to their growth and development, assisting them to reach their highest potential. Further, we seek to create opportunities for greater intercultural understanding through increased language options that recognize linguistic diversity and validate the varied language profiles of at all levels of the school. We embrace and promote the rich cultural diversity that defines us. We seek to enact financial processes and procedures such that WK is a model of a financially stable school in our region and the world. I appeal for your support so that the school is able to address these issues in the next 5 years. And we continue to rely on you for the next 60 years and beyond. In addition to the strategy just summarized, after 60 years, our school needs somewhat of a facelift. Some new spaces and facilities, and modernization in line with technology and building requirements for an educational experience of modern times. We have developed a national plan for campus-wide renovations. The investment required is significant. We intend to start at home in terms of investment partners, and from there we'll be looking beyond. We hope that some of you here will partner with us, and we would welcome that. In conclusion, I wish to quote His Majesty King Sobhuza II when he gave us the name Kamhlaba in 1967. Wherever you are in the world, the earth does not distinguish who you are. You live in it, whatever your color, whatever your religion, whatever your race. You live in it, and it does not try to ostracize you or show any difference as to what you are. And this is the meaning of Kamhlaba. Halala Kamhlaba.
Thank you so much for your leadership and for your guidance, Dr. Gumbi. The entire WK community appreciates your service. And in this moment right now, we understand that Waterford is rooted in the soil of Eswatini, and therefore we cannot do without showcasing Eswatini. And therefore we are going to have our dance from the Eswatini traditional dances. So please enjoy the color, the energy, and the joy.
Just another round of applause for our Eswatini's traditional dancers. We have come to the point in the program where it is our honor and pleasure of introducing the Acting Minister of Education representative, Ms. Nanika Mnisi, who will introduce the representative of His Majesty King Mswati III, Prince Logokela.
Kulesikhathi samanje ngenjabulo nentokozo enkulu asemukele lo mele indvuna yeletiko letemfundo Miss Nanike Mnisi lo nguye atosethulela sikhulumi lesicavile lesingumlomo wesilo ingosi Mswati wesithathu umfana Nkosi Logokela.
Thank you, Programs Directors, His Majesty's Representative, His Royal Highness Prince Logokela, Your Royal Highnesses Bantabe Nkosi, Your Excellency, former President of Botswana, Seretse Khama Ian Khama, Honorable Deputy Prime Minister Acting, Senator Lizzie Nkosi, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Honorable Ministers present here, Chief Dube of the community of Mpolonjani up to Waterford, Chair of the UWC Board, Dr. Musimbi Kanyoro, Executive Director of UWC International, Faith Obiodan, UWC International Office officials, leaders of UWC schools and colleges, Waterford Kamhlaba donors, partners, friends of the college, distinguished guests, members of the media, Waterford alumni, members of the college governing council, parents, staff, students, ladies and gentlemen, I greet you this afternoon. As the program director has stated, I am not the Honorable Minister. The Honorable Minister, due to other exigencies of the service, could not be here today with you, but I'm the Acting Principal Secretary and I'm standing in for the Honorable Minister. It gives me great pleasure to officiate on the occasion of Waterford Kamhlaba 60th anniversary celebration under the theme 60 years of paying it forward. On behalf of His Majesty's government, I congratulate you, Waterford Kamhlaba, on turning 60. And to us, this is not just a figure, because the school has done tremendously well in positively impacting our local community. Refugee camps, hospitals, local schools, neighborhood care points, and others on a weekly basis. Many Waterford alumni who are Emaswati are doing an incredible job in a number of sectors in the country. Some are ministers, some are politicians. The education they get here is unparalleled. For that, we are very grateful. It has been 60 years of working together with Waterford in the knowledge of economy of our country. His Majesty's government has always regarded education as the foundation and the main pillar of economic and social development, and it's cognizant of its core mandate. Hence, the Ministry of Education and Training continues to commit itself to providing accessible, affordable, and relevant education of the highest quality. In this regard, and through its scholarship program, Waterford Kamhlaba has also availed opportunities for a number of Emaswati from humble backgrounds to get quality international education that has seen them get tertiary training in prestigious world universities and come back to develop the Kingdom of Eswatini. This is in line with the country's national development goals as well as the sustainable development goals at a global level. We thank Waterford Kamhlaba for her unique academic program that allows students who come from diverse backgrounds to explore other people's cultures while retaining their own cultural identity. Government prioritizes an education that incorporates cultural awareness into the curriculum Education remains the foundation and the main pillar of economic and social development. The ministry is committed to developing policies, strategies, and programs aimed at ensuring the meaningful integration of culture in education. I wish you well as you celebrate this great milestone, and we appreciate the great job that you are doing. Lastly, I am sure our visiting guests from outside of our borders will get to explore our beautiful country and beyond this campus. I thank you. At this juncture, may I humbly request the Acting Deputy Prime Minister to come and do the honor of requesting His Majesty's representative to come before you in this podium. I thank you.
Your Royal Highness, Manvaben Koslaba Konala, Bobabetikulu, Your Excellency, former President Ian Khama, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, the Waterford community that is here, good morning. My job here is very, very important, Your Royal Highness. But before then, I just want to appreciate the Waterford community and all those that have supported Waterford over the years. I myself, I see Temba here, I knew his parents, I feel so old. I see Temba here, I was very much part of the community service way back when. So it gives me the greatest pleasure, Your Royal Highness, to be the one that welcomes you into this incredible school. It says it takes just one person with a vision. It takes a whole community to build the world and to build the nation. Your Royal Highness, please. Thank you.
May we all please stand. Thank you. You may be seated.
Your Royal Highnesses present today, Your Excellency, former President of Republic of Botswana, the DPM's representative here, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Honorable Ministers, senior government officials, Executive Director of UWC, International Faith Obadiam, UWC, International Office officials, leaders of UWC schools and colleges, and the principal, Jackie Otula, Waterford Kamhlaba donors, partners, friends of the college, members of the College of Governing Council and the chairman, Central Management Group, Waterford Alumni staff, students, parents, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, siyanivusela malangeni lamahle. Halala kamhlaba. Halala kamhlaba. Ngingakabeki inkulumo, before I present His Majesty's speech, I just want us to applaud the performances. They've been exceptionally great, all of them. And I hope His Majesty will be witnessing the young girls here who are dancing the songs for the Umhlanga. We hope to see them at the riddance. I have been commanded by His Majesty the King and Ingwenyama of the Kingdom of Eswatini to represent him on this 60th anniversary of Waterford Kamhlaba. And I shall read His Majesty's speech accordingly. It gives me great joy and honor to join this prestigious community to celebrate Waterford Kamhlaba's 60 years of paying it forward. A milestone and an anniversary worth celebrating. We wish to welcome you all and further extend our warm regards to all the parents, alumni, and friends of Waterford. We are alive to the fact that some of our members who could not join us physically for these celebrations are with us by their hearts and thoughts and on this special day. The history of the college, as we look back to the history of the college, we are reminded of the time when Waterford was given the name Kamhlaba by His Majesty King Sobhuza II. He said, in quote, wherever you are in the world, the earth does not distinguish who you are. You live in it, whatever your color, whatever your religion, whatever your race, you live in it, and it does not try to ostracize you or show any difference as to what you are. It is indeed heartwarming and fulfilling that 60 years later, the school has lived true to its founding values and educates hundreds and thousands of students representing 66 different nationalities, regardless of their socio-economic background, including race. Many students who have continued to live and shine on the various spaces and communities have grown to represent this great brand. They are ambassadors of the college all over the world. Truly, in the past 60 years, we look back with excitement for all that the college has achieved from its humble beginnings. You have shown resilience and purpose to your vision over this period. Each time we celebrate a milestone like this, Diamond Jubilee, it gives us an opportunity to look back from where we came from and renew our foresight on the goals we set for ourselves to achieve even more in the years ahead. As a country, we are extremely proud of Waterford Kamhlaba and its contributions to national development through providing quality international education that has benefited numerous Emaswati who are found in various sectors throughout the country and beyond our borders. The college has not just provided an education, but it has ensured that it affords a high standard of education as a United World College of Southern Africa institution. This has placed the Kingdom of Eswatini amongst one of the desired education destinations for many scholars. Waterford Kamhlaba's added value to the country does not go unnoticed. Just this week, hundreds of Emaswati students and young people came to the school to learn about career options during the school annual careers fair, which is run by Waterford students. This is just one of many projects under these colleges' creativity, activity and services program whereby Waterford Kamhlaba students get to engage and interact with our local community in a mutually beneficial manner. We thank you for touching the lives of our people and for the impact you continue to make in the kingdom. Education remains the foundation for our socio-economic development as a country. Therefore, we continue to commit resources to improve the quality of our education. Government has also given the country's education sector priority to ensure that we provide the best education to all Emaswati. We are happy that Waterford is looking at expanding as it turns 60 to mobilize resources to increase its scholarship funding to 40% of the students' body by diversifying our sources of funding. We have also been made aware that the school seeks to modernize its infrastructure and to invest in sustainability projects, among other things. This will certainly improve the chances of many other scholars benefiting from the opportunities you will create for our young people. We encourage the private sector and individuals to join hands with Waterford Kamhlaba in this regard and support schools finding initiative. We are inspired by your 60th anniversary theme, 60 years of paying it forward. It shows your visionary purpose and anticipation of another period of greatness in the space you hold. We are convinced that the years ahead are going to be even better, brighter, and bigger than your first 60 years. Happy 60th anniversary to Waterford Kamhlaba. Congratulations and well done. We encourage the school to keep shining and maintain its excellent academic record. I wish you could wait. Certainly, you cannot afford to drop the button now. The 60th anniversary celebration should be a moment to celebrate the history and legacy of the school, as well as to renew your commitment to the United World College values and Kamhlaba's commitment to quality international education that produces leaders for Africa and the world. Lastly, may I take this opportunity to acknowledge the founder of the school and all those who have sacrificed their time, dedicated themselves to the work of the college, to see it achieve all its works over the years. Let's clap to the founder, please. That was great. To the management of staff, to management and staff, we wish to encourage you to continue doing what you know best by fulfilling your calling and commitment to serve the nation. Students and parents look up to you to impact the lives of our future leaders. These are the followers of our nation. I call upon all the students enrolled here to cherish and make the best of this privilege. Many would have loved to be in your shoes, but this moment and chance has been given to you. Grab this opportunity with both hands and make your time here the most memorable, and use it as a getaway for a bright future and a world of opportunities available to your disposal. Remarkable as you celebrate 60 years, the country will also be celebrating her 55th double celebration this year. We are happy that you will be part of this historic event. We cannot wait for you to join the country during these national celebrations, and it is indeed a year of great milestones with the commemorations. We thank you for making this day the success it has been, and for all the activities and programs we have had today. We wish you many more years of great excellence and success. I thank you. May the Almighty God bless us all. Halala Kamhlaba. Halala Kamhlaba.
That's okay. We have a slight change in the program. The MCs will move immediately to the closing remarks, and the vote of thanks by Mr. Stevenson Ngabani from the Governing Council will be done just before lunch in the CCLD.
Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, alumni, friends and family, council members, staff and students, all good things must come to an end. We hope that you have been informed, that you have been entertained, and that you have been energized by the official 60th anniversary event. We thank all who have made this possible and all those who have participated in the Phoenix Endurance Challenge this morning.
We invite you all to join us in further celebrations on the field for the Phoenix Fest, which has 54 stalls with food, music, dance, crafts, and many more things to be informed and excited by. Tonight, starting from 4:15, is the African Night celebrations, which are an extravaganza of fashion, music, dance, and excitement. Please stay a while and celebrate with us.
As we leave this assembly, please take note of some housekeeping announcements. There are numerous toilets which are available for your convenience. The closest of these are the 2 sets in the multi-purpose sports hall behind us. And the next are the toilets next to the CAS department, just across from there. We also have toilets in the staff room, and the toilets just below the dining hall in the Form 1 block are also available. Please note, if any of these are reserved for our honored guests, please respect this arrangement and use another toilet. Lunch will be served for all invited guests and dignitaries upstairs in the CCLD. At the end of this assembly, please remain seated until they are ushered out of the amphitheater and up the stairs. Academic and admin staff are invited to eat lunch in the staff room. All support staff and students will be served lunch in the dining hall. Friends and family who have joined us are invited to buy food from the variety of stalls. But especially, please support our Kamhlaba Cafe, who have prepared many good things for you. Thank you all for your enthusiastic participation and for your patience. But I ask you now to please be seated, because we would not be Kamhlaba if we did not leave you on a high. Please welcome the combined jazz band led by our very own Mr. Mark Bradshaw, the department head of music,
to bring us a joyous conclusion.
Joyous conclusion. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Please remain seated as the jazz band removes their stuff and our guests are led up to the CCLD. Ushers. Guests, if you can please stand. We are moving in that direction. Thank you.
Could I please request all the jazz band members to come back? The Prince would like to have a picture with you, please. All the performers, could you please come back on stage? Very quickly. Come back on stage and position yourselves everywhere so he can find a strategic point to join you.
All students who have performed, please. Some can come to the front. Is it possible to remove the marimbas, please, guys? Thank you.
Shall we please move to the other side so that you just on the steps there, please.
If you could use the tiers of the steps, Providence, go join them. I'll help you.